everybody. Ella J here on behalf of WrestleZone, and today I'm joined by the bad girl of Sydney, Australia, Kingsley. How are you today?
Hello, I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic to be talking with you. This will be airing in 2024, but technically, we have upheld our tradition of having an interview every single year for
We
the
do, we
last
do.
4 years. I think this may be our sixth or seventh, something
Something
like
like
that. It's
that,
at least
yeah.
number six, at least.
Yeah,
Um, so
definitely.
we have a lot to catch up on. It's been about
Yes,
year and 3 months ish since the
about
last time I
that.
talked to you. A
Since
lot
we saw
has
each other.
I know. Well, yeah. Well, it's been like
Yeah,
a year and a half since we saw each other, and
yeah.
then we had our interview last year. But it's been a while. You've been up to a lot this year, and a lot has definitely changed. The last time I talked to you,
Yes.
you were still kind of transitioning yourself into a singles competitor, but now
Hmm.
you're back into a lot of tag team and multi-person
Yeah.
action, representing the Backslide Girls alongside Shay Cassidy and Everett Connors. So, I mean, for those who don't know, can you walk us through how this trio came to be? What led you three to joining forces?
Yeah, so it was very interesting because I feel like the three of us were kind of in limbo for a bit. Was sort of like trying to figure ourselves out as single competitors, and then just one day it was just like, okay, let's try something fun. Cass and I, or Shay Cassidy, sorry, we had a girls' night, and it's so dumb. We were watching this Korean like scary movie with the girls. I think it was called White, The Curse of the Melody. And basically it was sort of like Final Destination, but for like pop stars. And
Mm.
then we were like, this is just like wrestling. The whole like the politics of it, like the whole like superstardom of it, just it was a very fun thing. And we were just like, why don't we just maybe just try this out, maybe like a singing dancing group, removing the obviously the murder
Yes, yes.
aspect of it, obviously. But yeah, we were like, let's just pitch this, and then see how this goes. And the booker, he really enjoyed just the concept of like a group of people singing and dancing, and then kind of making that wrestling in a way. And then it was originally Cass and I, Shay Cassie and I, and then yeah, we were just like, "Well, I don't know, we need a third." And then we just went through the list, and for some reason it just felt right that Everett Connors was the third girl. He gives baby girl, he's
Yeah.
giving girly pop vibes, and we're just like, he's the one, he's perfect. And he's really fantastic as a wrestler. So as if we wouldn't want to snag him up. So that's how the three of us came in. And then we added also David Streamer as our like asshole manager as well. So it's a
Yeah.
very fun dynamic, and we've only had like maybe 3 matches, but we're really enjoying it right now. So yeah, that's how it came about.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you kind of alluded to the fact that you are the wrestle pop sensation sweeping the nation. So that's a lot, but I absolutely love it. And like you said, you incorporate a lot of singing and dancing into your ring entrance. I know you are not afraid of karaoke and singing and all of that. Do you have any personal aspirations to be involved in music outside of the wrestling landscape?
Oh, you know what? It's kind of in my genetics, to be honest, to veer in that direction, being half Filipino. So it's
Yes.
sort of like singing is the Olympic Games to us. So yeah, look, it's an avenue that I haven't explored yet greatly, but it's something I do enjoy doing a lot. Probably a bit more than wrestling, unfortunately for wrestling fans, but no, singing is sort of like it's been cathartic. It's been such a great escape, and a really good skill to learn. And yeah, maybe other than the Backside Girls theme song I've released, maybe something else might come about.
I mean, let's talk about this theme song because it's a freaking bop. It's a wrestle bop, I think, as it would probably be called. Talk about, I mean, the process of putting this together, like
Yeah.
stylistically, musically, all of that stuff.
Yeah, so I have a few audio engineering friends from my real life work.
Yeah.
And we had our usual guy who's done the PWA theme songs, and unfortunately he was lined up to help us, but something came up in his personal life. So I was just like, we have 3 weeks until a Coliseum. Oh no, what are we gonna do? So I hit up my friend, and then I was just like, look, short notice, but these are our references. We want Britney Spears, we want Backstreet Boys. It's giving like 2000s, millennial, like Y2K, you know, Bratz music, you know, menu music. Yeah, just something just a bit fun, you know, fun but straightforward, I think was what I said, because we didn't want to make a song that was too intricate. We wanted something that was repetitive, straightforward, easy to remember. And yeah, so I worked on that with my friend within that 3-week time frame before Coliseum hit. It was very short. It was a lot of back and forth between myself and then Shay Cassidy and Everett Connors, seeing what they liked, taking out what we hated, and yeah, and then it just came about this nice little Backslide Girlz theme. Yeah,
All
that I
within
recorded with a friend. Yeah.
a 3-week span. That's, I mean,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, I'm not an expert, so I actually don't know how long it takes to produce songs, but I would think like 3 weeks, especially like getting multiple people's input and
Mm,
putting it together and all of
yeah.
that had to have been kind of fun, but also like stressful.
It was fun and stressful, yeah. Like with that time frame, it was definitely like cracking down on deadlines for sure and sticking to it and being as clear as possible with communication. And I'm glad that we're such a good team and such good friends. We knew what we wanted and we were very honest with each other with what we hated or didn't like or didn't work. And then yeah, and then relaying back that information to my friend, and he was like, "Yep, great, fantastic. Let's change it up. Let's add this, add that." It was very like boom, 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 and then here we are. So yeah.
Well, we can get Kingsley on tour 2024, guys.
Yeah.
I just need an excuse to get you back over here to the States selfishly.
I know.
Now, the
I'm
Backslide
dying.
Girlz itself,
Mm,
the 3 of you, or I guess the 4 of you, made a video talking about the name behind of that. Obviously, it's kind of inspired by girl power vibes, but can you tell
yeah.
us more about the origin story of this stable name and how you landed upon Backslide Girlz?
It was it
With a
was a
Z,
bit
by
of
the
a
way.
yeah, we had to throw in the Z at the end. We had to make it cool and edgy, you know, and bringing it back to like the Y2K
Yeah.
millennial pop star type feel to it. Yeah, look, honestly, it was we referred to what worked in the past with other tag teams, which is kind of giving away, I guess, the wrestling aspect to it. Like the prefects in PWA had the schoolboy, and I guess we were a bit inspired of like how simple like that kind of storytelling was. Like the schoolboy, you can't kick out the schoolboy. No one kicked out the schoolboy, and like the Backslide Girls is sort of like I don't know. Backsides, it's just such a fun pin to do. And I feel like out of like, I don't know, it's just no one does a pin as a finisher anymore. I feel like the last time I've seen it was the prefects and PWA. But yeah, no, we like backslides. It's pretty simple. We just like backslides. Backslide Girls just kind of rolled off the tongue as well. So any other pin with like the crucifix pin girls or so, it just doesn't fit, you know.
Backslide
Giving
also could
gothic.
be kind of a dance move too. You know, you're like sliding
Yeah,
like
it
backwards. I
was
feel like
yeah. Yeah, it really was giving those vibes. Like it could be a dance move. It could just I don't know, it just fit very well. And we just kind of rolled with it and here we are. Yeah.
here we are. And I know you personally have taken some inspiration from pop culture and music and implemented it into your ring gear. I know
Mm,
we talked about Doja Cat last year. I know
girl.
it's one of
Yeah.
your favorite gears. It's one of my favorite
Yes.
gears as well. And so I kind of wanted to talk about that. It's kind of the same inspo, I feel like, that you guys are
Yeah.
creating for the presentation of the Backslide Girls. What can you tell us more about the process of crafting this kind of cohesive look for the 3 of
Mm.
you and the process of creating that?
Yeah, so I think the main thing was it was very Britney Spears.
Yes.
Just a very loose inspiration from Britney. I think specifically from Me Against the Music, that music video where she had the collar tie. It was very business. The suspenders as well. Like no one's doing suspenders. I'm just like, that's fashion, you know. So we chucked that in. And I feel like the color scheme of pink and purple wasn't really used at the moment. People are going back to purples, I've noticed. A lot of greens and blues are popping up, but
Mhm.
like the bright pink, like in your face pink, it wasn't used at the moment. So I was just like, well, that's very like girly pop. It's simple, it's very easy to identify as a team as well. With like the pink and purple girls.
Yeah.
um especially to new crowds, you want something distinguishable as well. So but yeah, it's very Britney. And we're gonna see what other pop stars we're gonna loosely take inspo from in the future. So yeah, but this particular gear is very like loosely based off Britney Spears. Yeah.
It's very interesting though, because before this anyway, I would say you and Shay specifically had some very noticeable differences. I feel like Shay
Yeah.
at least used to embody a darker kind of edgier vibe. You've always been very loud and
Hmm.
vibrant. Talk about that dynamic and how you've been kind of able to strike a balance between that. Obviously, Shay has kind of evolved to a similar kind of, she's not obviously not loud, nobody can out loud you,
Mm.
but she's kind of also evolved herself too as a character with the Backslide
Yeah.
Girls too.
Yeah, I love seeing Shay's process and her journey through this. Yeah, she used to be like this gothic, dark, brooding,
Yeah.
silent character, and I think she really wanted to just break out of like that silent character, which I feel like would have been really interesting having a silent character next to me as, you know, a backslide girl. But I don't know, I think she felt maybe restricted or something like that, just not talking, this and that. But I feel like, I don't know, it's fun for her. Like, and I think the consistent thing that we've had that we've taken from her old character is Barnaby, which I
Yes.
feel like people are relating really, really, really well
He's
to.
out of the
uh,
hospital now, I saw.
He's out of the hospital, guys. He's done with doing death-defying dives from 5-foot balconies, you know, or 50 feet. I don't know. I don't do math. I don't do meters. I don't do feet. But very tall balconies. But yeah, yeah, it's gonna be very interesting watching Shay evolve in this because like I said, we've only had what, maybe 3-4 matches together. She's still kind of figuring it out. um, she's definitely more of a dancer than a singer, and I'm more of a singer than a dancer. So
It balances out though, like I
and I
was
feel like
saying.
that's the
Yeah.
balance. Like she's been really great, really, really great. Because like sometimes I'd be like, what dance moves do we do? What do we do? And she goes, it's fine. We got this. I'm like, okay, okay, cool. And I'll just sing. Fantastic. So her mind is great. She's a fantastic wrestler too. She hasn't lost her aggression in this new like path that she's taken,
Yeah.
which is really, really good because I feel like both of us are quite aggressive in our wrestling styles as well. So yeah, you'll get the soft side of like the dancing and the singing, this and that. But once the bell rings, I feel like you'll still see like a consistency with our styles at least. So yeah, with a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too. Not that there's much of a difference. You're a millennial. I think Shay's a Gen Z.
She's a Gen
So
Z.
so I mean, you're like I said, really not that far off in age, but
No,
a little bit. Has there been like when you're coordinating like the dance moves and that? Have you noticed kind of a difference a little bit in that dynamic?
she's got more healthier hips than I do. That's what I've noticed.
Mind you, Kingsley's not even 30.
I know I'm not even, but I'm feeling like there's 10 years on me from my age, honestly. Oh my God. But no, she's yeah, she's definitely a Gen Z, but like she brings such a vibrancy to the team. And yeah, just like her humor, it is like, I don't know, it's just we've been really, really bouncing off each other, like different perspectives, and just like our humor has been really like clicking together. So despite what year she's born in, yeah, there's a very like, I don't know, she brings a freshness to this
Mhm.
team, I think, which I think is what was needed as well. whether we were by ourselves or in a team. I think she brings a very youthful aspect to it. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just rambling.
obviously you've known both Shay and Everett for a couple of years now, but
Yeah.
take us back to your first impressions. I know obviously now Everett is married to one of your good friends, Charlie
Yeah.
Evans, so perhaps that's how y'all met. But can you talk about your first initial impressions of each of them individually?
Oh my gosh. I just remember specifically Shay is just so funny. Just like she was shy a little bit shy, but then you kind of like, chip away the cracks and like of her personality, and then she's just unhinged and it's hilarious. Uh, where was it? I think it was Newey, like Newcastle Pro Wrestling. I first met her. Yeah, like I said, she was very still discovering herself,
Yeah.
just discovering wrestling on a whole, really, and just where she fit in. And I think her coming to PWA, training with us more, like she just really like just brought out like such a fresh like personality and just such a vibrant person. I love her. She's fantastic. Um, and then Everett Connors, oh my god. When did I first meet him? Oh my gosh. It's funny because I knew about him well before I even met him.
Yeah.
And
Long distance. Yeah.
it was a long distance thing. I think it was like during COVID, I knew about him, or like maybe post COVID. And like Charlie was just gushing about him like nonstop. And like yeah, I just got a really good vibe from him, and he just everything she spoke about him was with such love and compassion and just such admiration towards this person, and you can feel it from him as well. And my first impressions was just like, yeah, that's a guy that I want in my friend's life,
Mhm.
and I'm so glad that he's with us, like as our friend physically. We get to hang out with them, and he's just so funny. Like, I don't know, I just attract like all these like little weirdos, like in the best kind of way, he's so cool. He's so cool, like always dyeing his hair. He's like Ramona Flowers from like Scott Pilgrim. His hair is a different color every month.
Mhm.
And yeah, he's just like Cass, like they're both such vibrant people. They just every time they walk in the room, it's just like, oh, thank God you're here. It's just so much better that you're here. There's such a positive aura between like the two of them. So yeah, that's how I feel towards them. They're fantastic. And I'm so glad to be working with them, because I think I'd be crying in a corner wondering who I am
Mhm.
in wrestling. So yeah.
You got that girl power vibes going on.
Yeah,
And
we
and
do.
on that topic, I have to bring up something that I am really excited about that is coming near you, and that is the second ever Empower event, which again is an all-women show run by wrestling legend Mickie James, but this time it will be held down under in Australia in April 2024. Obviously, this is a huge opportunity for the Aussies to get more exposure, but as someone who is active in the Australian wrestling scene, what was your initial reaction upon hearing this announcement, and maybe what does it mean to you? Obviously, the card has not been filled out yet, but I have to imagine there's obviously initial excitement.
Yeah, no, I think it's been quite the buzz, especially within our girls. So yeah, it's really nice to have someone actually look into our little demographic and just be like, you know what, let's showcase them, because we're actually so good. Like,
I
not to
know,
be biased or anything, but like we're really fucking good.
I know.
And yeah, I'm just really, really, really happy that someone like, especially like Mickie James, like is actually taken the time out of her life, to actually look into us and want to be a part of our little Australian little wrestling community. So it'd be no, I'm very interested to see where this leads. But it's just gonna be really fun for us, and I think it's a testament to, I guess, our girls as well, that someone like Mickie James is actually looking to us, because we're really good. We're actually really good.
I know, and like I said, this is not, I mean, it's going to be great exposure, obviously, for a country and continent that's kind of, it's kind of isolated, you know. It
Yeah.
doesn't, or at least it doesn't get as much focus as a lot of the other places do. But when I tell you, I mean, obviously, we will roll back the curtain a little bit. We obviously knew about this like weeks before that it came out, you know, publicly. But my heart was just so warm, especially for you, because I mean, I obviously know a lot of you guys. I watch all of you, and so to know that you again, the card hasn't been filled out, but a lot of the performers that are from Australia are going to get an opportunity to perform on a major show like this. I think is just incredible and so well worth it. And I obviously there's going to be bringing in some international
Mm.
talent as well to mix it up. So I don't know what kind of matchups we're going to get, but I'm excited for the action, but also for everybody else to see what I've been seeing for the last like 4 or 5 years, you know. And so that's especially what I'm super excited about.
Yeah, like just show, let us show us, like just show us. It'll be really, really good because yeah, I can brag about the girls all day, individually, as teams, from just A to Z. That we're just really good, you know.
Well, we are going to have you brag about some people, because talking about talent, I feel like especially in the last 2 to 3 years, we've seen a really influx of new faces in the Australian wrestling scene. So, who are some talent from this newer wave that you think people should be taking note of or keeping an eye on? Obviously, Shay Cassidy is one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we all know how I feel about Shay Cassidy, but I think the one that popped in my head was Delta. I think Delta, oh my God, she can murder someone. My God, but she is the sweetest person I've ever met. Oh, she's just so funny and such a great person. But gosh, she's a good wrestler. Oh my gosh, she looks phenomenal. And just really easy to work with. She's so fun. But yeah, you look at her and I'm just like, as if you haven't got a contract yet, girl. Like, like you are a superstar. She's always impressed me as a human being and as a wrestler. I think she'll go far, like really, really far. Yeah, she's the top person I would really, really push hard for, really, if you want to see someone new. That's Delta.
You know what's funny though, and you may not feel like it, but you're kind of a vet now. I feel like
No.
there's a lot of new names and faces joining the Aussie
Mm.
sphere in the last like 2 years, especially, which means in these matches you are by default the more experienced competitor. So how has that dynamic been for you, and how have you approached these situations where you've been the veteran?
Oh, it's scary. Because I have this awful thing where I doubt myself sometimes, but I feel like that's everyone in wrestling, especially in the veteran situation, I guess.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's been really good. I find myself in situations where it's just like, oh, it's not that bad. I know how to wrestle if I just really think about it, and like how to structure a match and this and that, and it's not that hard. It's, you just gotta really know, like, who you're working with, like what their strengths are, what they don't like, what they can and can't do. But like really focus on showcasing them and what they bring to the table, and I think you'd be fine. But most cases it has been daunting because I don't sometimes see myself as a vet. I have coaches who are like well beyond their years, and I see them as like the vets, and but like I keep forgetting that like I actually started in like 2017, you know. So yeah, it's a bit daunting, but once you get like your reps in, it's not too bad.
Yeah, there, obviously there's still some people of more experience, but I feel like I said, there's been a I feel like a noticeable wave of new names coming in, which so
Yeah.
it's kind of a new dynamic for you to be working with them and have them like look to you for stuff, you know? So I mean,
Yeah.
as you know, I know you're still trying to figure out yourself, you know, too,
Mm.
but you know, it's a cool responsibility to have. I feel
Yeah.
like, and it's a testament to, you know, your work that you've put in. But one vet that has definitely made waves in 2023 was Jessica Troy, who
Yeah.
defeated Ricky South to win the PWA Heavyweight Championship at PWA Coliseum in October. After the match, I saw a video of obviously you and the locker room celebrating with Jessica in the ring. Can you talk about that moment and seeing Jessica become the first woman to hold the PWA Heavyweight Championship?
Oh, so good, isn't it? Like it's been a long time coming, I think, and she really deserved that. She is, I guess, she is our face of the women's locker room, really, and honestly, just a face of the entire
Yeah,
locker
I
room,
have to
really.
agree. Mhm.
Yeah. She's been such a great leader, backstage and in ring, and it's just, oh, it really drives home like the message of like what we believe in, like women's wrestling is wrestling. And weight divisions and all that, it doesn't matter. Like she is legitimately the best wrestler in PWA and honestly in the world, in my opinion. And that's just, some people might think I'm biased, but like you really don't understand how good she is. Like fantastic. She's just fantastic. I can't even fault her. Like I can't find a fault in this person because she is that good. So it was such a nice moment for her, but it meant so much to us women. Just seeing her with that belt, it's just like, yes, okay, this is the start of something really like important to us and to this company and to wrestling. So yeah, love to see where it goes now.
Yeah, and you were talking about, you know, Jessica being, I mean, I have to agree, her being basically the face of definitely the women in Australia, but arguably the face of Australia as a whole. I have the argument, which is why, I mean, I've already put it out there, like she absolutely needs to be booked for Empower. It just
Yes.
like she should be the top priority, like at Mickie James. Like I already told her
Yes.
that. But like it definitely needs to happen. But I know
Yeah.
another person who you value very dearly is Jude London. He did a lot this year. He had a whole tour of the United States. He held a bunch of tag team gold. So you might be able to learn a thing or two from him now that you're back in tag team competition. But before we
Mm.
talk about that aspect, give us your assessment of his 2023 as a whole.
Oh, he just doesn't stop, does he? Like, I've never met someone so fixated on wrestling and being better at wrestling. He's such a perfectionist at it. He just loves it so much. He loves it, which is really inspiring because sometimes I have days where I'm just like, what am I doing? Why am I in wrestling? What is this? And then he just ties it back home and goes, this is something that's important to you, this is the passion, this is your life, and you're really good at it. So he's been really good, a good reminder of what's the positive aspects of wrestling and why I should care about it. Because he's just really good. He's such a positive light in wrestling, as a person, as a wrestler, and also another person I can't even fault in wrestling as well because I think he's that good, even as a singles competitor and as a tag team partner to Paris de Silva. I think he really drove it home when he had that match with Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought, yeah, I had a lot of like, oh yeah, this person's going to have match of the year. This is going to be the match. I legitimately think Jude London versus Zack Sabre Jr. is the match of the year because we don't get to see him much as a singles competitor. And I think he really proved to us that he's such a good wrestler in that match and he can keep up with the greats, really. So, but yeah, he's had a busy year, just flying around,
I
wrestling
know.
Zack Sabre Jr.,
I know.
yeah, yeah. So I hope people have noticed that overseas because he really deserves. So does Paris de Silva. They really deserve to go to Japan or something. They really do.
The
They're amazing.
velocities for people who aren't aware, you know, I mean, Jude, I think this year alone, he's had four tag team title reigns, like
Yep.
within
Yep.
this year, four different.
Yeah,
companies.
he won
Like,
the him and Paris won some titles last night. Like,
yeah, I know.
no sleep. Bus, another club, another RSL, another venue, another tag team title. You know, just like, bruh, stop. What about me?
I mean, exactly. I mean, you've spent a lot of time with him. You've seen him wrestle. Can
Yeah.
you talk about some of the things that you've maybe learned from Jude that you've maybe applied to your own work or your mindset?
Oh, just not being afraid of changing yourself a little bit. I think he also had a little similar thing where he felt like being Jude the Dude was a bit stale.
Yeah.
And he didn't know whether or not maybe it was a character thing or a moveset thing. But like I think recently he's I hope he's okay with me telling this. But yeah, he recently took up like Taekwondo or something like that, like as another hobby. Much like how I took up singing. So there's just little things like that. But he implemented like some stuff from Taekwondo into his wrestling, which changed up his moveset. He had that really cool excommunicado and just like doing like splits like in his matches, just randomly, just just he's been really just unafraid of testing the waters. And I think that's something that I needed to really get used to. And he's been really inspiring and like for that reason, just trying something new in my wrestling, and my movesets and my character and all that. So yeah, that's the main thing, really.
I mean, you did recently try something new. It wasn't in the ring, but you did commentary a few weeks ago, actually a couple months ago now at this point, at World Series Wrestling. Tell us about your experience behind the commentary desk and how you prepared. You don't do commentary a lot. I don't think
No.
maybe if at all, but how did you prepare and tell us about your experience?
Oh, okay. So it was really funny. I, yeah, we didn't really prepare. It was Will Keatis and I that did commentary for the Sydney Show World Series.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, we were given a run sheet. We were told these are the matches. Um, we were supposed to be prepped up a couple of days ago, but I think the card kept changing. It was just a thing of like, we'll just see on the day, like what happens. And then yeah, we were told the rundown of like what's happening in the show, and then we were just trusted with the microphone. I think we were put forward because someone else was supposed to do the commentary. They couldn't, unfortunately. And then they told the booker that, hey, Will Keatis and Kingsley are very good talkers. So hopefully we can trust them to do commentary. And honestly, I think we did a great job. I think we brought a wrestling personality to commentary, rather than like the usual commentary you probably hear like maybe a
Mhm.
sports voice or something like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, I thought it was fun. It was a bit daunting. There was a few little hiccups here and there, but that was our first go going, and I hope people enjoyed it because we really enjoyed it. So yeah.
I mean, it helps too that I mean, you know a lot of the people on the
Yeah.
roster and you know I mean, you've probably wrestled a bunch of them too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that obviously helps as well that you know people's work leading into it and maybe their moves and you've worked with them personally. So I feel like that definitely helps. Definitely can attest because I did virtual commentary for almost 2 years. It was still very daunting even 2 years in, you
Mm,
know. It's a whole different ball game, especially when you're just kind of thrust into it, you know. But
yeah.
like you said, you are very good on the mic, and I feel like that's something you've kind of always been comfortable with. But how do you think that you've grown personally and professionally these last few years?
Oh God, how do I? Like I said, it's just it was just being in that awkward phase of like, what if? Who am I? And then having people like Jude London changing things up and watching people change around me, being that kind of like that drive to be like, okay, what's next for me and what can I do to make this fun, or what can I do to, I don't know, just change it up a little bit. So yeah, like you said, you spoke to me last year. I think, yeah, last year. And I was still kind of umming and eyeing. Who am I?
Yeah.
Extra, midlife crisis, type of thing in wrestling. But I don't know. I think I've surrounded myself with new people to work with, and I think that was sort of like the thing, like where I was lost in. I was around people that maybe what just wasn't working. Or I felt like, oh, this is, I don't know, it's not me. And then put myself by myself and then seeing how I go with that. But then kind of like finding myself around the right people. And then that became Shay Cassidy, Everett Connors, even David Streamer, the manager. And yeah, and just it's something just finally like click. It's just I really had to throw myself out of a situation to put myself by myself, really think about it, and then kind of find my way back. I think that's what really led me here to the Backslide Girlz. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I mean, we're ever evolving, especially, in wrestling. You started kind of solo, did a tag team, then kind of transitioned to singles, and now you're still doing both, but you're
Yeah.
slowly transitioning back into creating and investing in the Backslide Girlz. So,
Yeah.
which is a completely different dynamic for you, especially one that, is very physical on your voice and on your body as
Yeah.
well. So I think just in general, you've had an interesting journey, and
Yeah.
obviously everything comes with trial and error. But at the time of recording this, 2023 is soon coming to a close. So as you look back on this year as a whole, can you tell us about some of your proudest performances in the ring this year?
Oh, proudest performances. Okay. Oh, Ella, I might need a bit to think of
Okay.
this. Proudest performances. I think, look, it's very recent, but I believe the debut of Backslide Girlz, with the song, with the dance, performing that, and then actually wrestling straight after, very hard. I don't think people, I think people really dismiss how much work goes into something like that. Um, so I'm really proud of, with such a short deadline as well, with things falling through and having to find someone else, recording it, and then night before, Shay Cassidy and I having to figure out a dance as well. We weren't even in a close proximity of each other. She was at her house and I was like an hour away. We had to like film each other the night before, like, what about this? Send. And then she'd be like, what about this? And then just like back and forth in our garages in a mirror, you know, filming each other. And then next day, just doing a run through. And then, yep, bell rings or like entrance hits, and then just having to go and do that. I think, yeah, I'm really proud of that. I don't know if people enjoyed it. Maybe no, I hope they did. I know that they did. It's a great entrance. I don't give a
It
shit what anyone
is.
says.
It's iconic.
I'm doubting myself. I've gaslit myself thinking that people hated that. Like, well, they don't matter
Stop it.
anyway. So I'm not gaslighting myself. It was great. But I think that was a very great experience for Cass and I. Just jumping into that, something so foreign, and then actually pulling it off. So yeah, I'm really proud. Yeah.
And you should be, you're starting off this kind of new, I guess, chapter, new era. I would say new era of Kingsley. Started off very strong with a
Yeah.
wrestle bop, and you're sweeping the nation. So I mean, you had a great, I guess, a grand debut. I mean,
Mm,
like, that was
yeah.
amazing. So you should be proud of that.
Thank you very much. I am. And now I have to
And
do it every single time now.
you signed up for it. You
I
signed up for
did.
you.
That's what comes. Yeah, I know. That's what comes with
Gotta
it. Like, you do something that
keep that
good, you gotta do,
cardio. Oh yeah,
girl.
you know what's good though is you are a tea person, and that honey helps you're a
It
genius.
does. I
You're a
know, right?
genius.
I know. Ugh, look, I didn't want to say it, but I guess I am.
Your I mean, I know you still do tea, but your past gimmick, has kind of helped you out here.
It
And,
really
and that's the
has.
tea,
It
keeps your
really
voice,
is
your
the
vocal
tea.
cords. Hmm.
It has helped a lot, actually. So
You
you're
already
not
got the
wrong.
remedies ready to go just in case, huh?
I'm going. Yeah, set that honey up, you know?
Two more questions for you. As we also look towards the future, what are some of your personal and professional goals for 2024?
Oh, 2024. Look, I would like I guess, a title run, hopefully. So yeah, we'll see how things go with, like, I don't know, PWA or even Slam. Those are like my main two priorities at the moment. I think they're great promotions. Slam Pro Wrestling has been really, really good. So for me as a singles competitor, just kind of like honing myself there. Next week we'll be going for the inaugural women's championship against Jimbo Jesse. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll win, maybe I won't. But just the fact that, I don't know, it was really I would guess my first real like championship match. I would like more of those at least,
Mhm.
because I think I'm really good. I should really toot my horn a bit more, because I think I've been around for so long, and I think it's time to actually like showcase, like, yeah, maybe I am championship material. So yeah, more title runs, I think, or title shots at least. Yeah, and I would really, really like to see just where the Backslide Girls go. It's just such a fun dynamic. So many things you can do, so many storylines. Just really get the creative juices going. But yeah, that's me. Yeah.
This will be coming out in January 2024. So it is possible that by the time this goes out, you will be a champion. So in the
Maybe.
events that you do, what would you tell future Kingsley if you become champion by the time this comes out? What will you tell future Kingsley that for finally capturing a title?
That you're that bitch,
Exactly.
and you deserve that shot. You deserve that shot. You deserve that title, and hold on to it, because there are some really great girls out there who might want it as well. So, but sit back and enjoy it. That's what I would tell her. So yeah.
Now, final question. I was peeping through your socials and I came across an interesting item on your Amazon wish list. It's a
Oh no.
three it's a 3-book collection entitled Buttception, a butt within a butt within a butt. So I was just wondering, was there a particular reason you put this on there? What drew you to
No.
this collection?
I was supposed to edit that. I when I made okay, when I made this Amazon list, I thought it'd be funny just to throw in some really like wacky,
Mm.
slightly inappropriate things and see if anyone would actually buy it for me. Um, yeah, no one's bought me the books yet. Um,
I
I
started
think,
to read the synopsis, but
yeah,
then I said I'm not finishing this.
yeah, look. I don't know if I was on wine when I was doing this Amazon wish list, maybe, but also when I'm sober, I'm a bit weird too. So maybe it was sober Kingsley thinking like, that's funny. But yeah,
You just
if you
said "but"
do,
3 times in the last 10
but
seconds.
but but
Just it's
I'm,
butt
I'm
section.
I'm clearly inspired by these books. So yeah, I don't really have much to say, but I was just in a mood, clearly. But I am very serious about the Dane DeVito pillows and the Dane DeVito standee. That is not a joke. Please send that. He is my Lord and Savior. So
I
we
know.
we love Danny DeVito in this house.
Didn't you I know we talked about this. Didn't you have a hamster or some pet? Was it named after who? It was named after some actor.
Oh, my rabbit! Oh my
Yeah.
God, Tom Selleck.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I love Tom Selleck, my rabbit. Oh my God, he had a brown nose and he looked like a little moustache. That's why. So I was
You
like,
have to have
oh,
a
Tom
Danny
Selleck.
DeVito. Whatever pet you get next, you need to
You're
name it after
so
Danny
right.
DeVito.
Oh, you're so correct. Oh, I'm definitely putting that on my dog list. My dog name list, which is
But
very extensive already. So
if you're watching this, you can order her the Danny DeVito stuff, or you can order her buttception. Just saying.
yeah,
I can't even say it. It's like
buttception.
it's a tongue twister. It's buttception, a butt within a butt within a butt. There
But
we
yeah,
go. You're
yeah,
welcome.
butt within a butt within a butt. Yeah, it's a very intellectual
I
piece.
was a little bit alarmed. Not gonna lie.
Look, maybe, yeah, look, maybe that's why I only get sent eyelashes, because then people go, oh, butt within a butt within a butt. And it's just weird. I don't know.
It's okay.
I'll just buy the eyelashes for her,
We're
which I
all a
do
little bit
appreciate
weird.
too.
It's okay. We're all a little bit weird. You own it, Kingsley. You own it.
I do own it. Send me buttception, butt within a butt within a butt. Thank you. Thank you.
Before we let you go, can you please tell the listeners where they can find you on your social media?
You can find me on Instagram, which is Kingsley underscore PW. I think. Yes, it is. That is very correct. I should know this. I don't have Twitter. Don't find me there. You will not. And Facebook is just Kingsley hyphen pro wrestler. Very simple. But yeah, my main grove is the Instagrams.
Yeah, she got that link tree in her bio to where you can find
Yeah.
her Amazon wish list and her brand
Yes.
army. And
Oh,
I
yes.
I'm waiting for the people from out of the states to get access to merch, I'm just saying.
Yeah, look, I really need to work on that. I've just been so busy. I've
No, it's
actually thought
fair.
about today. I'm just like, oh, I really need to bring up the merch game
Yeah.
because
I
I
I
know,
need new merch. It's been like 2 years.
I know
I think the
it's so
last one I got
bad.
was the koala one,
Yeah, the
probably.
quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
proceeds went to the charity.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a great t-shirt. That flew off the shelves
Mhm.
like hotcakes. It was crazy. But yeah, no, that was I'm very happy about that shirt. That was a great shirt.
It was, and I have the oh no, I can't even do it. I
Oh
have the oh
no.
no, I can't even do it. Yeah, I have the oh
Oh
no one
no.
too as well.
That's a great shirt
She
too.
makes fucking great stickers, by the way, too. I think that's still the only one in the US to have her stickers that she normally only sells at her
Mhm.
merch tables. So I'm
Yeah,
honored. You need to
you are very honored.
once you get that stuff set up, you need to sell the stickers too because they're really good. And I
Yeah,
know because you
yeah.
designed a lot of them yourself.
Yeah, it's a lot of time and exhaustion, but it's all worth it. Yeah, no, I really should. I really should. So thanks for reminding me every year.
You're
So
welcome.
I should put that in
That's a
my
goal for
2024
2024.
diary.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what? Let's add that to like, to the 2024 list, more title shots, more Backslide Girls, more merch for
Of
everybody, not just the
yes.
merch stand.
Yes, yes. We need more Kingsley in our lives and Kingsley Forum Power Down Under as well.
Yes, absolute. Great goal. Great goal. Let's just manifest. 2024, year of Kingsley. Let's go.
And that's the T.
And that's the
Kingsley,
team.
thank you so much for joining me here today.
No, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.